esteemed India Forum guests. Before I invite the moderator for the evening, I would like to give you a short background on him. He is one of not just a moderator, I would say he's a man with a mission when it comes to motivation and inspiration for the generation next. He is an integral part of the India Forum community team, as well as a very active member of various community efforts for the Jeddah community. And therefore, I would like to invite him now to take this evening forward. A warm welcome and a round of applause for Surinder Pal Singh. So SP Singh, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, President, for that generous intro. So shall we start with the event?
Thank you.
His Excellency, Consul General of India, Shri Mohamed Shahid Sahab, Deputy Consul General and Director of India Forum, Shri Y Sabir, members of India Forum, members of Jeddah Indian community, friends and guests who have joined us today from India and across the world. Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste and Sat Sri Akal. It is my pleasure indeed and honor to welcome you all to this webinar hosted by India Forum under the aegis of Indian Council in Jeddah in collaboration with Team CatFit from India. What a beautiful coincidence it is. Just a week ago, we talked about mental toughness and mind wellness in children on this platform. And today, in the run-up to the Yoga Day 2021, on 21st June, we have this opportunity to talk about the wellness of entire humanity, all the children of Mother Nature, through the means of a very ancient Indian tradition of yoga. It is said that every adversity has an opportunity. So is with the COVID-19 pandemic. The other side of the suffering is that we humans have realized what is essential for life. We have understood the value of universal connection, the need of cutting down on the clutter from our lives and minds, and focus on what is most essential for living. While maintaining physical fitness is important, managing stress, keeping the mind even, is becoming a greater challenge. The tradition of yoga is a scientific approach to maintain both of these, and yet it further empowers us to attain a soulful and a blissful living. As the very definition of yoga in Sanskrit goes, yogas chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is restraining your mind from taking various forms, from taking various vrittis. And that is what creates stress. Today, along with India Forum, we from Team CatFit, we also have renowned yoga instructors and gurus and Indian celebrities who have been practicing yoga to contribute to this effort of ours. But before we get talking to our guests, I would like to invite a very active and vibrant India Forum President for his address, and then we shall have address from the Consul General of India, Jeddah. May I now request Mr. Mir Ferozuddin, President of India Forum, Jeddah, to address the audience, please. Mr. Mir Ferozuddin, over to you.
Thank you very much, SP Singh. Thank you for a very relevant and very relevant as well as a connected background of the event today. With that, I would like to wish everyone a very good evening, Namaste, and Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of India Forum's MC team, I take the privilege to formally welcome His Excellency Shri Shahid Alam, the Consul General of India, Jeddah, the architect and driving force behind today's inspiring theme. The Deputy Consul General Y Sabir, whose support, guidance, and presence as Director India Forum is highly appreciated. And a warm welcome to CatFit, our partners and respected panelists, the celebrities, the esteemed members of India Forum, and all viewers who have joined us through the platform of Zoom. Today's virtual event is a tribute to the forthcoming International Yoga Day, a matter of great pride for all Indians, and to help spread its essence wider so that yoga's benefit reaches across to every individual who's around the globe. Today's event theme is about how yoga inspires healthier living. Because as it's best quoted, yoga adds years to your life and life to your years. And in the current times, health is your currency of greatest wealth. The topic of today's webinar is brought to you by a galaxy of stars, who we all call actors and yoga gurus. It's these individuals among an army of many whose passion, persuasion, and perseverance towards yoga has led to its being accepted as a global iconic lifestyle. I take the opportunity to thank every individual on the panelists for their kind participation at such a short notice. It is a complete privilege for the Indian community to have you among us, and we look forward to an insightful and inspiration talk ahead. Thank you. Jai Hind. With that, I would now like to invite His Excellency, the Consul General of India, to address the viewers.
Thank you, Feroz Bhai. Thank you so much. Distinguished yoga gurus, actors, and fitness experts, esteemed members of the India Forum, Indian community, and friends of India in the kingdom, my dear colleagues in the consulate and all attendees, a very good evening. Namaskar. Assalamu alaikum. At the outset, I convey my deep gratitude to yoga gurus, actors, and fitness experts who have been able to join us today, taking some time out from their busy schedules. Your gracious presence to spread the message of yoga across the globe in general and in Saudi Arabia in particular is highly appreciated. I also congratulate the hardworking and sincere committee members of the India Forum as well as its members led by its president, Mr. Feroz Bhai, in organizing this topical and relevant event today. Friends, we are celebrating the 7th editions of the International Day of Yoga across the globe, including in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. No doubt, the challenging times of the COVID-19 pandemic has severely affected our physical, social, emotional, and mental well-being. It has significantly increased the tensions in our already stressed life. Fortunately, India is blessed with a rich heritage of yoga. Its role in the promotion of the holistic well-being of the person is well recognized throughout the centuries. The world has acknowledged the significance of yoga in the promotion of physical and mental well-being of the individual. In fact, UN and other international organizations have conveyed that yoga has a positive contribution in the psychosocial care and rehabilitation of the COVID-19 pandemic affected patients in quarantine and in isolation. Friends, we are very much interested to know how our distinguished panelists and speakers in the webinar are able to cope up with their daily stresses, including the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. I look forward to listen from them how yoga contributes to their healthier lifestyle. They are role models in our society, and I am confident that we will be able to learn a lot from their valuable experience. I once again thanks to all the distinguished yoga gurus, actors, and fitness experts who have joined us today, and also the esteemed members of the India Forum and committee members, including the CatFit, for organizing this very important event today. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, His Excellency. That was a perfect start to an inspirational evening that we have planned ahead. And with that, may I invite Singh to come and take this forward.
Thank you, President. And thanks to His Excellency for that wonderful insight. Now let us look back to our event. Our team, CatFit, and our expert panelists and celebrity guests. As you might be knowing about CatFit, CatFit is an organization founded by Colonel Rakesh Krishnan, former Special Forces officer, who headed the National Security Guards team on the commando unit, as you may say. It is a team of specialists from various fields of defense, intelligence, education, corporate and technical areas who cater to the training needs of individuals and groups, especially children, students. We have from CatFit with us Arpan Dixit, the Global Business Head, Shashank Emmanuel, Executive Marketing Head, coordinating with us for this special event, and Ms. Neha Thakur, who will be joining us as a moderator for the panelists' talk. In the Yoga Experts panel, we have Madam Shraddha Setalwad, Shaina Setalwad from the Infina First Wellness, and Yoga Guru Sri Deepak Pandey of the Anand Yoga Ashram. We are also privileged to have shining stars, our celebrities, all the way from India, who have been generous in accepting our invitation to grace this event. With the considerate team, CatFit, gurus, and celebrities together today, our focus is to bring to the light the finer aspects of yoga. Yoga is just not physical. It is for complete well-being. Yoga is not just for India or some caste or creed. It is beyond our barriers. It is universal. It is all-inclusive. A completely scientific approach that needs to be known to entire humanity to achieve the true happiness and well-being, which is defined as Lokaha Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Let the entire world be happy. To start with, I would like to invite and introduce our first celebrity. Pardon me for that. Who has been a TV star for a long time and a household name in India. In the series like Ghar Ki Lakshmi Betiyan, Niyati for the Sahara One, Balika Vadhu, Santoshi Ma, and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Yes, as you must have thought about it, I am talking about the well-known actress, Madam Smriti Khanna. Madam Smriti Khanna, you're welcome to this event, to India Forum, and virtually to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, without a visa, of course, just through the Zoom link. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and be part of this effort to highlight yoga as a tool of well-being for people. Can we have you on the camera? Good evening, ma'am. It's a pleasure indeed to have you here. Knowing about your attachment and connect with yoga, in a very brief, what would you recommend about yoga to people and why?
Yoga, good evening, everyone. Yoga is a way of life for me. And I have been practicing yoga since my teenage. And my inspiration is my father, who is turning 80, and he is very active and he is practicing yoga daily. So yoga is my best friend, I must say, because as it helped me out in some of the toughest movements of my life. Especially during my pregnancy and post-pregnancy period. I had a normal delivery only because of yoga, because I was practicing yoga and meditation daily. And as you know that I'm into acting, and acting requires a lot of energy, and it's a very hectic job,
Yes, indeed.
full of uncertainty and competition, and they demand that us that we should be full of energy, fit, and for that also yoga helps me a lot. And of course, I want to request everybody out there, to at least start something, be it walking, running, stretching, breathing, or say flexing, anything. Start with something. Starting is very, very important, because yoga boosts your metabolism, your immunity. It improves your sleep, burn calories. So it's very important. And at the end, I would like to say, let's stay healthy together with yoga. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for that insight and sharing your personal opinion about yoga. I'm sure it is going to inspire many, because celebrities are the people whom we follow, for a reason. That, yes, as you said, your jobs are much more hectic than what general people think about it. But those who know about it, they know, yes, we can definitely learn from you people as an example of a higher level of living and professionalism. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here. Well, after the first star that shined upon us, now I'm going to invite the second star of the evening, also an actress and from very well-known TV serials. It is Madam Pranita Pandit, who is a household name again with so many TV serials like दो हंसों का जोड़ा, काली एक अग्नि परीक्षा, कहानी जिंदगी की, कुछ इस तरह उत्तरण, and कहानी घर घर की. She is actually known in Ghar Ghar for so many of her roles. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to this event. Welcome to Jeddah. Welcome to India Forum, and welcome to Saudi Arabia. Right in that comfort of your home, you are our star for today. Knowing all this, knowing your hectic schedules, knowing your exemplary roles and your fan following, what is your connect with yoga, and how you think the stereotyping of yoga should change? It is said that yoga begins beyond the mat. Anything that you do with a conscious mind is yoga. So what is your take on this?
Firstly, thank you so much for having me here. Namaste and good evening to all of you. So, of course, like a lot of people say that yoga is a way of living, and how celebrities have publicized yoga has really helped a lot of young people. But yoga is beyond the physical body and the physical being. It is about looking within yourself. It is a lot about meditation and introspection. So that is one angle that, sometimes we miss when we think about yoga. It is not only fat loss, it is stress loss. It is a loss of, you will lose your anxiety that we all develop. And like we know, during these COVID times, it has been so tough and mentally challenging for everyone in all their fields, including actors, businessmen, and, in every field. People have faced many challenges, and we are all working from home. Like, we could have never thought that even actors will have to figure out an alternative and ways to work from home. And of course, because we are not used to that whole pattern of sitting at home for so long, it has been very, very tough for people who are workaholics and has taken a toll on their mental health. For me, yoga has actually helped me to stay stable mentally and really helped me to go through this phase of my life. And irrespective, thanks to my parents, that I have been practicing yoga for years. And now it is like the go-to thing for me. Whenever I feel that I'm stressed, I am, not feeling physically or mentally fit, that is the first thing that comes to my mind, is to do some stretching, do some mental exercises, meditate for some time, listen to some nice soothing music, and I'm good to go.
That's wonderful, ma'am. That's wonderful indeed. And as you very well said, it is said for yoga, samatvam yoga uchyate. That is, evenness of mind is yoga. Thank you so much. And indeed, there is a lot of stereotyping that yoga is something like doing the asanas and physical activity and, a lot of that stuff. But I think yoga needs to be defined, in a more elaborate manner. And I think it should be publicized.
Yoga is whole. It is complete. It is not about, it is mind, body, spirit. So it works on all three levels. And we should embrace it like that. It will work on your mind, it will work on your body, and how you feel from within. So yes.
Excellent. Exactly. That is right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. And as the modern yogi who has actually preached yoga to the Western world, and it has become popular in the last century, and now we are taking back yoga from the Western world again. He defines yoga in a very, very beautiful manner. First of all, he says it's difficult. It's just impossible to totally define yoga. But as he says, it's beautiful. I like it and I will share. Yoga is an art, a science, a philosophy. It touches the life of a man at every level, physical, mental, and spiritual. It is practical method of making one's life purposeful, useful, and noble. So that is what our celebrities have shared today. And do we have Mr. Chaitanya around, President?
No, he will be joining in shortly. So in the meantime, yes, thank you so much to Smriti ji and Pranita ji for a very insightful guidance. And surely I am inspired as well. The fact that it does deliver certain energy levels, that's really what we are faced today. Challenges have stressed us. So that's completely, extremely fruitful advice. And many of us, I guess, from here onwards, would try and embrace yoga as a healthier living and be inspired by it. In the meantime, Singh, we have numerous other panelists.
Yes, we'll switch to the panelists. Yes. Thank you, President. Thank you for that. And now I think it is time to, as I said, it's not even enough to just define yoga in this time of 1 hour of the seminar. But yes, we will touch the important points of yoga so that people are able to change their perspective about yoga and embrace yoga in whichever way it suits them, whichever way it is useful to them, whichever way they can contribute to the society by firstly becoming fit and fine within themselves, having a blissful life. And those who have a blissful life, they definitely contribute to the society in various ways. So I'm going to invite from the CatFit team a yoga practitioner, a blissful being who has been contributing in many ways to enhance lives of others. As you know, the CatFit team I introduced to you. We are having with us Ms. Bhavprita Thakur, who is today's moderator for our panel discussion of the experts. And let me tell you a bit about Bhavprita Thakur. Bhavprita Thakur is currently the Vice President of Bharatiya Stri Evam Bal Vikas Samiti, an All India NGO working for empowerment of women and children. Professionally, she is an Assistant Professor of English and Communication Skill Development. She has also worked with the Media Production Unit at NIEVPD. That is difficult to know about it. That's National Institute for Empowerment of Visually Impaired. As I said, they do contribute to others' lives like we can't even think of. And this is with the central government of India. Bhavprita currently is a core team member of CatFit. And today, we welcome you, ma'am, as the moderator of our yoga experts and gurus to be our panelists. And I invite you to Jeddah and to Saudi Arabia and to India Forum's program to be the lead as a moderator. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure being here. First of all, I would like to pay my regards to His Excellency, the Consul General of India, Jeddah, Mr. Shahid, and the Deputy Consul General and Director of India Forum, Mr Y Sabir, and other esteemed guests. So thank you so much for having me here. And what I would like to basically start with is about something, and a basic introduction about yoga that I would like to mention. So there's a little invocatory shloka for Maharishi Patanjali. I'm sure everybody is aware of Patanjali. He's the foremost author of the principal text of yoga. So I'll just say 2 lines in Sanskrit and I will just explain it to you what it means. Okay. Yogena chitsaha padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vedhaken yopakarotam pravar muninam patanjalim prajali ranatosami. So basically what this means is the one who cleansed the impurities of the mind through yoga, of the speech through grammar, and of the body through medicine. I bow down to you with my folded hands to that highest of sages, Patanjali. So why I mentioned this shlok to begin with is, if you see the way we all are speaking is, yoga is not just about exercises or just what we all think in the Western world it is. Like our other celebrity panelists also spoke, how it is about body, spirit, and mind. So if you again come back, so he just says, who cleans the impurities of the mind through yoga, of the speech through grammar, and of the body through medicine. So your mind, speech, and body, the 3 of them are cleansed through practicing yoga. So this is what I'd like to just begin with a little introduction. And now I would like to introduce our instructors who will be on board answering our questions and our experts on yoga. So
Madam,
one of the first...
I would request a pause just before you start. Once you finish your intro, just give me a moment. Yes.
Yes, sir. This is about it, sir. I just finished my introduction and I was just about to introduce them, so you can take over and speak.
Thank you so much. Actually, we wanted to play a short video, which is going to help the audience or to look at the angle of yoga that the world is looking at today. May I request our technical team to take care of the display of the video, please? Mr. Mohsen, can the video be displayed?
Namaste. This is Madhu here. And on this International Yoga Day, I'm very, very proud to be a part of One World Yoga Anthem.
Namaste. I'm Sai Manjrekar. I am very proud to be a part of the One World Yoga Anthem and an extension of our Honourable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji's vision of taking yoga globally.
I, Vardhan Puri, advocate yoga to you and your family. Welcome to One World. Welcome to the land of yoga.
So welcome to Yoga Pranayam. Welcome to One World.
Thank you, Mr. Mohsen, and sorry for the interruption, ma'am. Please continue your moderation. Madam Bhavprita, please.
Yes, sir. So I'll begin with introducing the person who is behind this video. And her name is Mrs. Shraddha Stelvad, is with us today. Am I pronouncing her name correctly? Stelvad, sir?
It's Shraddha
Stelvad. Thank you, ma'am. So is with us today. She is none other than the creator of the video we just saw at the beginning of the webinar. Ma'am is leading the array of Bollywood celebrities and is a global yoga expert. founder, director of Infina First Wellness and Yoga Kids in School, Shraddha moved from being a supermodel in her teens to an MBA with yoga expertise. So, ma'am, welcome. And I would like to ask, what does yoga mean to you?
So before I get into that, I'd just like to greet everybody. Namaste, His Excellency Consul General of India, Mr. Mohamed Shahid. Namaste, Deputy Consul General of India and Director India Forum, Mr Y Sabir, our honorable dignitaries, our lovely members in the audience and children. Thank you all for joining us on this International Day of Yoga. मैं आभारी हूँ हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को, जिन्होंने हमें ये विश्व को ये मौका दिया योगा के बारे में जानना, सीखना और मनाना. Every year on 21st June, the world comes together, stepping aside all boundaries, countries, barriers, religion, languages, to celebrate oneness. And yoga, ironically, means union or one. And it is probably just yoga that can all bring us together. So thank you very much for joining us all. And I'd like to start with the first sutra of Patanjali. And I'd like to actually share this knowledge with you. So you may repeat this after me. So as everybody said, that we should go beyond thinking that yoga is just asanas. So the first sutra is Atha Yoga Anushasana. Atha, which means now at the present, and the auspiciousness in this very present. Yoga, which is union or in a higher level concentration, and Anushasanam, which is discipline. So you may turn your mics on for us to all say together and jointly start this meet today with Atha Yoga Anushasana. I pray for this Mangalkarya or auspicious start of this meet. Thank you so much for having me, Bhavpreet. And I'd like to come back to your question of what yoga is to me. So as you just mentioned, all Bollywood stars and the array of stars, and the quality of a star, as you know, is that it has its own light and shines with its own light. So one of the biggest callings to me for yoga is the search of light, and it is light. It is the inner light which I seek and I work on, and it is the external light which I radiate, and I get everybody in my arena to radiate with. So truly yoga for me is about light, inner and external light.
That's lovely, ma'am. Thank you. My second question to you is, who or what is your inspiration for yoga? Like you started, like how did it start?
So as we know that yoga, as also Pranita said, is deeply introspective. It takes us from the Bahar Akash or the outer world into the Antar Akash or the inner world. And if you would have seen in the yoga video as well, there's a huge amount of light moving within the body. So one of the beauties of yoga is that it takes you within. So who is going to be more inspirational to you to find your best self or to know yourself better? It will be you. So my motto in everything has always been to be your own motivation and to be your own inspiration. And having said that, I use yoga as my energy system. I set my energy system with yoga with my 3 P's of pranayam, prayers, and practice. And practice includes some sadhana, some asanas, and some kriya. So with these 3 P's, I move on to my yoga, finding and being my own motivation and my own inspiration.
That's lovely, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ma'am, I'll come back to you with other questions.
Sure,
we have a lot more to discuss.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We have other panelists that we would like to welcome and introduce. So the second person I will start with is Shaina Settlewood. She's the youngest and most dynamic entrepreneurs in our country in the field of yoga, Ayurveda, and nutrition. We have with us Shaina of Infina First Wellness.
Namaste, Deputy General of India, Director, India Forum, Mr Y Sabir. Namaste, His Excellency General of India, Jeddah, Mr Mohamed. And namaste to all our dignitaries and all our viewers. I'm so happy to be given this opportunity today. So I can move on with your first question.
Yes, yes. So basically, yes. So what does yoga mean for you? Yes.
Yep. So yoga is an extension of me, and I use the principles of yoga in everything I do every day. So internally, it has helped me be my best self. And externally, it has helped me connect with Mother Earth and the environment. And at work, it's helped me make more sustainable decisions. And honestly, it's helped me transform myself socially.
The second question is the same thing. So what inspired you to start practicing yoga?
So life itself is my inspiration to yoga, and yoga, I want to say, is life in itself, because every individual requires breath, and the practice of yoga is based around one's prana or one's breath, and it transforms one's inner state of well-being. And on a personal level, yoga has opened the doors for many of my milestones and has been like a life calling for me. And the deeper and the more time I invested in my own practice, I found more realms of physical wellness and inner peace. So that has definitely been, life itself has been my inspiration for yoga.
Well, that sounds lovely. Thank you so much for being here. I will come back to you with more questions. So now I will introduce to you our next panelist and yoga instructor. His name is Sri Deepak Pandey. He's a yoga guru and expert, teaching yoga for 20 years in India and all across Europe. He's also associated with Anand Yoga Ashram. So basically a founder and director. So welcome, Sri Deepak Pandey ji. So we have you here.
Deepak ji, yeah. You're on mute. Deepak ji, you're on mute.
Hello, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I've been saying and it wasn't heard. Now it will be better. Thank you very much, Thakurji. Now, before I start ahead, I would like to thank our chief guest, His Excellency, the Consul General of India, Jeddah, and Mr. Mohamed Shahid Alam, Deputy Consul General, and the Director of the Indian Forum, Mr. Y Sabir, for taking time and for being here, bringing their time all together out of their busy schedule to make this event happen fruitful. Now further, yes, Thakurji.
Yes, sir. So I'll begin with it. Your question. Just start with what does yoga mean to you, sir?
Okay, I started very early when I was very young. I wasn't interested. I wasn't even aware of what yoga and thing. Institute was 2 minutes away from my house. Somehow my father got me involved in this. When I was in 10th grade, he told me, this is the time you decide either to be on the other side or a better side, which is green garden. Decide to be in the garden or be on the rough path. And I don't know how to decide that. So he put me in Yoga Institute to get that clarity. And it's been really amazing. I'm very thankful to him that he did that. Initially, 4 or 5 years, I have been going to the institute and being outside, but not at all yet interested in yoga. So as a kid, I was being there, not being there. It was happening to me. And over a period of time, after 7 years, I realized that I've learned something already in my day-to-day life, which has helped me so much that now I can decide to be on the greener side or to the outer side. So it takes time when we talk about such topics. It's not just one injection, like done, vaccinated, and COVID is gone now. It's not like that. So for me, that was the process. And I went through this process and I realized that yoga is something to me that is helping me to be such a better person, enjoy all my education and all my positive sides, which I can with myself from morning till evening and have a good sleep and wake up again and enjoy again around. So I decided to share with people. And as I was learning, I was sharing with my classmates, college mates, and going to the schools and underprivileged kids around. And somehow I realized that it's such a wonderful thing. I never realized it's been already 13 years I've been practicing and sharing. And now there are many people out there, they keep messaging, thanking me for introducing yoga to them. And I go back there and thank my dad again to thank you for helping me to get in touch. So it's been life-changing for me, yoga, completely. And today, right now, I'm in Spain and I've connected with all of us. And it's been wonderful that CatFit gave us this opportunity to share. And being in such a young age, people at times don't take me seriously when I talk about yoga things and benefits, but then they see my lifestyle and how I live and all things happening to me, they understand it is definitely worth practicing or at least trying bits and pieces. And it happens over a period of time that you realize that, wow, you are healthy, physically, mentally balanced, no matter whatever comes in front of you, you deal with it. If it is a problem, you meet, you greet, and you try to defeat and put it out of your place as soon as possible. If it is something beautiful, you try to gracefully accept it and try to prolong the benefit and pleasure out of it if possible. So that
sounds very lovely, sir. So by this conversation, my second question was actually going to be, again, the same thing that I'm asking everyone about inspiration. But from the story, I feel like it's almost your father, but I am still going to go ahead and ask you. It could be? No? All right then. So please, yes.
For inspiration, it's not at all my father.
Not him. Yes, sir.
He was Karma Yogi. So inspiration, I see all the yoga teachers around me. All the yoga aspirants. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry for that in between. I thought it's gone. So inspiration for me is all those yoga teachers around me, all those who have been practicing yoga since years and years. And I see them that have they reached anywhere? I see their actions. Do they look like they have been sorted themselves with yoga practice, or I see them as something sometime and something sometime, or still they are struggling with putting yoga properly into their own lives. So they are my inspiration. I learn them what not to do once you know something which can be useful. And then I see other people who are really sincere, who take this practice, they become better, they shine, they glow, and they keep practicing, they keep glowing. And I've been one of them, progressive so far, touch wood, that I keep on the path and not go left, right, here, there, because it's been really amazing. And other inspiration for me is, like I said, sharing with people yoga, not just who are elder to me or people who are keen on learning. I'm trying to share with youngsters and youth so that they don't fall into the trap of other kind of addictions or vices around. I want to share with the youth in a way so that one day they become father and they take their kid and put them into such places, which is really beneficial. So it's like, my vision is like that, to share care for the youth, younger generation, so that because we have already, whatever my age is, and I see elders to me, they have already lived enough and they are trying to contribute the best. But the younger generation is most important. And if they get it right, they might make it even better further. That's what my inspiration. That's what drives me to share yoga with schools, colleges, juvenile jails. I've been teaching to juvenile jails when I was in India. I've been teaching police commanders. So it's been always overall concept I see. And I see it's such a beautiful thing. If shared with someone, they can really enjoy their health until they are on earth. They can really enjoy whatever possessions they own. They can really taste what life is. Like we say, rest in peace. My inspiration is to make people aware, live in peace if possible. And yoga helps me to get the clarity to live in peace.
And so I can definitely see the glow also, I'm sure, like because you practice, so the glow is also being seen.
Maybe this aura of background.
Thank you so much, sir. Now let me introduce our next instructor. Her name is Neha Thakur. She's a yoga teacher from Jammu and Kashmir, and she's also associated with Anand Yoga Ashram. So Neha, welcome. Could I please see her?
Namaste.
Namaste, welcome.
Thank you so much. Yes, I would like to start thanking our Honourable Chief Guest, His Excellency, the Consul General of India, Jeddah, Mr. Mohamed Shahid Alam, Deputy Consul General and the Director of the Indian Forum, Mr Y Sabir, for taking out time, and CatFit for bringing us all together.
So, Neha, the same thing. So basically, how did you get into yoga?
For me, yoga is all about discipline. In a day full of hustle, we try to take out time for ourselves. We try to be regular and dedicated to our practice. For a moment when we are practicing, we are on our mat. We don't think what happened in the past, or we are not thinking what will happen or worrying about the future. We are in that particular moment, being in present. So for me, yoga is all about being disciplined and being in that present moment.
Yeah, thank you. And the second question would be your inspiration. So how did you start, and who's your inspiration behind practicing yoga?
So for me, long back when I was working in IT, I realized I'm not taking care of myself. I am working like a machine. And as we all think, let's start going and joining a gym. When I entered the gym, I saw one of the yoga class where there were people of different age, like someone above 18 and also someone below 20 were practicing together. They had that calmness and that easiness in their practice. And I felt this is what I want in my life right now. And I entered that room, started my practice, got deeper, and now I'm professionally teaching yoga.
That sounds lovely. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
I will come back to you with other questions for a further question and answer discussion. So going back to SP Singh, sir, I think we have one of the stars here who sir would like to introduce.
Thank you, Bhavrita, for that. And yes, we have been waiting for our next star, Mr. Chaitanya Chaudhary. Chaitanya Chaudhary, thank you so much for joining us. As we know, Chaitanya has been acting and into movies and serials. He's known for his movie Akira and some serials like that is Kahin To Hoga, and that is also Love at Times Square. Welcome, Chaitanya ji, to this event, to Jeddah, to Saudi Arabia, and to India Forum. It's a pleasure and a privilege that you are with us today.
I hope you.
Yeah, all the more we know that you are in touch with yoga, and that can inspire a lot of people to look into yoga from different perspectives. And here we are trying to highlight the other perspectives of yoga other than what is generally known to people like asanas and kasrat and all that. So welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
My first and most obvious question to you would be, as an individual, other than what is known to the general public, the square definition of yoga, कि यही है, इतना ही है, इसके अलावा, what would you like to highlight about yoga that you have personally experienced and that can be useful to us? Please.
Of course. Sabir, the Deputy Consul General, and a big hello to the entire India Forum's MC team. And thank you for this wonderful effort on a very beautiful science that is yoga. And yoga, like, all the panelists shared, yoga is a way of life. And, the reason all of us, a lot of people are getting back into yoga is because it is the correct way to live. So that's been taught by Patanjali, and that's been shared in our Vedas. And, I came in contact with yoga at a very young age, because in our society, we used to have these yoga teachers coming at, where we used to stay. And they used to teach us. So at the age of 5-6 years, I started practicing, the Alom Vilom, and the asanas and everything. But, around 5 years back, I reconnected again with yoga, when I was going through something, of a personal nature. And I really wanted to find out, what is the correct way to live. So that's when I came across yoga. I reconnected. And then I realized when I reconnected with yoga, I realized it's just not asanas. It is just not a physical science. It's a lot to do with the bhavas, or
the emotions or your consciousness, and it really helps you to lead a very well balanced life, and that's what I have experienced personally. Yeah.
That was extremely inspiring, Chaitanya. So, I mean, can I conclude that yoga does add or reduce the age? I mean, you keep looking younger. So, is that the secret behind fitness?
Feroz, you know me for a long time.
Exactly, and you seem to have stayed back in time, yeah.
I don't know about that, but I think since last 5 years it has really, I mean, at least it really, I can't live without yoga. I have to practice it. At least like being an actor, you need to go to the gym. You need to have a sharper, physique. You need to really work hard on that. But I make sure that at least twice or thrice a week I'm doing my yoga. So I don't know. Because I really feel that physical fitness, if your mind is fit, then automatically your body becomes fit. That's what I really believe in, because it's never just the body. You may be doing everything possible to do asanas, and you may be doing everything possible in the gym, but if you're mentally not fit, then the entire aura as a person will not change. So that's why yoga is the entire I really make an effort to concentrate on the bhavas, which are very, very important in yoga. And I have learned all of that, actually, more about it. Actually, my wife is a certified yoga teacher as well. So she learned at the Yoga Institute. And if you visit the Yoga Institute ever, you will realize that how calm the place is, how balanced that place is. And I've experienced that. And that really inspired me further, to learn yoga. Then there was this teacher of mine called Mr Y and he was one of the best teachers I've had, who taught me over the years. So I
Thank you
guess
so much.
The youthfulness does come from yoga as well.
I guess that's one reason that many of us here should try and turn our minds towards. And I do have a question for one of the panelists, perhaps Neha ji, if you can answer that. Many of the viewers on this program today have not yet embraced yoga. And as you can see, the theme of the event definitely does suggest that it adds a healthier lifestyle. It adds health to your life. Health in terms of a balance of mind and body as well. So based on that particular angle and subject, can you share certain benefits to the health in the current times that yoga can add?
Yes. So in yoga, when we are practicing, we are focusing on the breathing. Breathing is something which is the central part. When we are breathing nicely, we are aware of our body and our senses, which further help us to let go, connect to our mind, and how Chaitanya ji has said that yoga is not just about the physical aspect, it's also about the bhav, the feeling with which we practice, the feeling of letting go, the feeling of self-reliance, the feeling of awareness, and that meditative feeling is all about yoga. So it's more than the physical practice, it's more about the journey inwards.
Very true. But are there any, let's say, tangible physical benefits as well?
Yes. So first of all, how you said it helps us to stay young. Secondly, as we are focusing a lot in breathing techniques, pranayam, it helps us to have a nice breathing. It improves our respiratory functioning. It also takes care of our spine, like how right now we are sitting in yoga. When we practice, we are fully aware of our spine. Plus, it's not just about the physical, it also helps us when we are breathing, oxygenating our body, and then making us feel fresh, rejuvenated, and most importantly, stress-free life.
Wonderful. Wonderful. With that, Bhaprita, I mean, some questions from your side as well. While I'll definitely like to interrupt and pose my questions from the audience.
Yes, sir. I have quite a few questions for our panelists here today. So, and thank you, Neha, sir. Thank you for asking that question. The way she speaks is like already so calm and composed. It's like I feel like she practices yoga. So, thank you for that, Neha. I will continue and ask the first question to Shraddha, ma'am. Ma'am, the question for you is, if someone had never tried yoga and they want to do it now, where should one start?
Thanks, Bhaprita, for the question. So those who are still not been inspired by Instagram, or if your selfie hasn't been taken, or you've not found the perfect photo op to do a handstand or a headstand, then welcome to yoga, the real yoga. And I'm very happy you asked this question. So if I, as a teacher today, had to teach somebody who's never learned yoga, my first thing where I take them to is on a mat. And it is just to listen to the sound of their breath. So note, I'm not saying that it's breathing. I'm saying listening to the sound of your breath. So listening to the sound of your breath helps to bring that awareness, the first stage of awareness in your body, that you're ready to make a shift in your body. And from there, you will experience the journey of, mindfulness, of consciousness, of, intellectual, and you move into different spheres. But for me, it's always about listening to the sound of your breath. And for people who are looking for a huge journey in yoga, in terms of a yoga curve, so this is something that I've learned myself. Like if you ask somebody in a business learning curve or a yoga guru, a normal business guru, what's your, learning curve, that like zoom, like a nice half a semicircle. So, for me, my yoga learning curve is like, the Nike tick, you go down and you go up. So it's always like you dissolve to evolve. So the more you go deeper, you go into stillness, and then you evolve. For me, that is the meaning of yoga. And that's the true understanding.
Thank you, ma'am. My second question is for Shaina. So Shaina, your question is, why should one start practicing yoga?
So people initiate their practice of yoga these days because they're probably recommended to do so by a doctor, or maybe say a nutritionist for weight loss, or maybe like a psychiatrist if they're in a disturbed state of mind. But these are all reactive reasons to start yoga. Ideally, people should start yoga proactively and as a discipline. So I think yoga should be started young and inculcated in one's daily life and routine. And it definitely in the long run will ensure better quality of life, and a life that's very balanced in both fitness and focus. And in the long run, that's going to lead to like mental well-being. So yoga extends horizontally and allows you to connect on a uniform level. So say each person that practices yoga can be treated as an individual dot on a map, and the shared values of yoga unites and connects these dots and the people around us, forming a united map. And then yoga can also lead to vertical growth, and in that space there's a connection so deep with our soul that it allows us to form a connection with a higher divine power. And it really does, and it's helped me find my true purpose of life. And it's a very humbling experience. So I think just that experience itself is a great reason to start yoga.
No, that was lovely, because what I was reading as well, I think the literal meaning of yoga is also, it means union.
Yes.
Yes. So the word yoga means union. So when you say the union with the divine and the union with spirituality within your soul, and that was a very lovely answer, Shaina. Thank you so much. So my next question is for Deepak sir. Sir, the question for you is, how many times a week should one practice? And maybe some tips on the days and the exercises bit, sir.
Sorry. I have a wonderful experience of practicing yoga physically, as well as I would like to share how we can more input of yoga.
Yes, sir.
So I would recommend in our general day-to-day life 4 days a week if possible, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Decide one time, energizing morning or relaxing evening, or in between if you have time. So that I would recommend for physical yoga practices. And if you want to go a bit more, that it might help you to like with bhav and attitude and like beyond just physical and flexibility, we can read one yoga topic, little or big, depends on your choice. Read 4 days a week if possible, or even on weekends, once a week, one yoga topic. That would do some beautiful contribution to progressive yoga practice. That's all I have to say. One yoga topic, reading, and 4 days a week, physical if possible.
Deepak, that brings me to an interesting question for you as well.
Yes, please.
We've seen that through ages, yoga, as you know, from a layman's point of view, earlier it used to be the older generation, people who would do the breathing exercises, perhaps for healthier outcomes in terms of blood pressure, arthritis, etc. And then as time progressed, we've seen the younger, or let's say the teenage generation and the young adults who've come in more as a lifestyle benefit out of it. What's your point of view when it comes to the children? Because they are as well stressed in the current scenarios, whether it's now or whether it's to do with the pressures of school. So how do we kind of, do you believe that children should be part of this? And how can they embrace yoga at an early age?
Yes, I have been lucky enough that my father introduced me, but in our society, I would like to share one experience of my personal journey in yoga. As I've seen before me, people joining yoga for particular reasons, high blood pressure, diabetes, or some pregnancy problem, or maybe post-natal stress, or maybe some other stress, some divorce or some stress, and they do yoga. And a generation of my age, I've seen them talking like this, oh, yoga is for old people. Yoga is for old people. And that's how people first in our Indian culture see yoga, look at yoga in that way, that yoga is for old people, not for young. But nowadays, because of Instagram and Facebook and so much of social media, nowadays it's yoga pants and all that. So what younger generation than them see yoga as again kind of a fun activity or showing off handstand, headstand, making a perfect picture. But no, according to my perspective, if possible, it's really easy if we as an elder take and let's say, oh, that I would like to do my bit in, let's say, if I know this much of area on earth, like let's say I know one state, in one state where I've been living, how I can try and, if capable enough with money, pay yoga teachers to go to schools and do work without even saying them that it's been shared with this purpose. That is one can do. Second is, how far as possible practice it so much nicely that, like you said, Neha ji, when she speaks yoga, you can already feel. So if we can do that much of yoga so that anybody near and around us sees that, like sun shines, moon, we can see the element of them. Sun, strong energy, moon, calm. Similarly, if we practice and we share whatever near and dear ones, that might expand by default. And younger generation, they see us and learn more than what we talk. Because we have seen like east and west kind of change in our own yoga gurus, saying from X to the Z. So younger generation, they see and follow. They don't hear and follow. If they see us doing something else, talking something else, won't match. So that's what my sharing. If we can really create more yoga teachers in younger generation, provide them certificate, appreciation certificate for joining and sharing in the schools, which Modi ji has been doing amazingly. And like Chaudhary ji has mentioned about, I've seen him at the institute also a couple of years ago, visiting his wife when she was doing TTC. I've been teaching there, and I've been very mindful about observing people. So it's good to hear from him like how yoga is wonderful. I mean, most of the yoga teachers in Mumbai or around, because being in this thing for 20 years. I've been observing that how there are really good people and yoga teachers sharing with youth. So for me, as a normal person, if I'm doing yoga, I can give my expertise, share the best, or find people whom I see the element to take support of theirs to share yoga to schools, underprivileged areas, colleges, and as much as possible expand the hand through website, through internet, through any means. And today is a good opportunity because there are people in here who are really highly influential. If they take one little time in month, like one day in a month to contribute to yoga, they can make really change, a good change in wherever they are in a big radius. Like people like us can do a little bit. So imagine those who are really influential, they can be like sharing it to masses, especially children.
Quite right. Very well said. I think SP Singh also has his curious side of question. So would you like to go ahead with that, SP?
Yes, thank you, President, for that. In fact, my question was to go to Deepak ji, but you asked a very relevant question, and what he said is exemplary. And as you know, I mean, we in Saudi Arabia, we know that this is the place where yoga was nowhere. And today we have a lot of young instructors being trained. I think some 2 years ago on Yoga Day, around 41 of them got certificate as yoga gurus, yoga instructors. So that's how people have been embracing yoga. And I'm going to take my question now to the next panelist, that is Ms. Neha Thakur. Neha ji, what came to my mind was I went back to my school days where I've been brought up. In that area, the nearest doctor, his clinic was around 4.5 kilometers away. And he was a rarely visited person. And the virtue of that area was that everybody was calm and cool, and most of the elderly people were disease-free. So, I mean, just let me share that I have been brought up in an area which is called Gandhi Ashram, Sabarmati Gandhi Ashram, and where now I connected that most of the people were practicing yoga as a lifestyle, not just the asanas or anything, but overall. And that is what brings this question to my mind, and I'm going to ask it to you. From the start that you started learning yoga or practicing yoga to achieve the kind of calmness you have now, what a layman would target at, like how much time it would take for a normal person to become so conscious, so calm and cool and in control? Because yoga says that you cannot control everything that goes around you, but you can definitely control things that go within. And that's what actually is the key to manage stress and manage life successfully. So how much of time span do you think that a layman would take on an average, and how can you encourage such people? I would like to know from you. Neha.
Thank you so much. For me, I feel it's a lifetime journey. Like every day we learn something new. It will be wrong for me to say that one can achieve it in 1 day or 1 year or maybe 10 years. It is something which we practice, just practicing and letting go. This is what I practice. And for me, I feel yoga, like how you said, like you went to the doctor. So yoga is more about prevention. Earlier, what we used to say that, oh, someone has a knee pain or some other pain, and let's take yoga as a cure. But now the new generation is taking yoga as prevention. Like now, so many people I talk to, and I always ask them that, why do you practice yoga? They always tell me that we practice yoga so that we don't have to go to the doctor, and instead of like just be here practicing, ending up in a hospital. And secondly, how you said that the calmness, once we are aware of our senses, we know what is happening around us, and most importantly, within us, the calmness just comes naturally.
Thank you so much.
So it's a practice, it's a lifetime practice.
Thank you so much. I just needed that encouragement to flow through so that people believe that it is possible to do it. Yes, and you have to educate yourself. As in words of V.K. Iyengar again, who said that it is a science, it's a it's a spiritual practice. So anybody who needs it physically or at a mental level or at a spiritual level can get into the bus and continue yoga. And in his own words, he says that yoga is like honey, and honey is sweet from any part of the honeycomb. So any aspect of yoga is definitely going to be beneficial, and obviously the thirst allows a person to absorb. So whosoever has whatsoever kind of need can benefit from yoga. And thank you so much, ma'am, for your answers. Thank you. Back to Bhavprita. Bhavprita, would you like to continue? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Shraddha ma'am, I'm going to come back to you and ask you a question. So basically, there are two questions I will ask you, and they're like one after the other. So the first question is, what are the benefits of yoga according to you? And the second associated with it is, what are the negative effects if not practiced correctly?
So from the starting point of what we have already seen, there are many physical benefits of yoga, of course, and that starts basically from all the panelists have said from the breath. So, breathing deeply helps to oxygenate the tissues, the brain, it works much better because of the oxygen levels, your spine gets energized, you're able to combat diseases, your immunity level is much higher. So we have touched upon a physical part of yoga. And there are 5 sheets of yoga. Then when we come to how it affects our thinking process, because we start going more deeply within us, so we come to the mental space where we are able to monitor our own thoughts, we are able to control our thoughts. And yoga, as we have just learned from one of also the sutras, is yoga chitta vritti nirodha, which is, to control the fluctuations of the mind. So when you're in control of your mental space, you slowly start feeling better. So you move from thoughts to feeling and emotion. So you come to an emotional space where you're in control of yourself. You don't let too many things go up and down and ruffle your life in the external world. And once you have conquered the physical space, the mental space, the emotional space, then you'll come into an intellectual spaces where you are making journey to move upwards, and as Shaina mentioned, from a horizontal expansion to a vertical expansion. So truly the benefits of yoga are 5-fold, and I repeat them. It's the physical sheet, the emotional sheet, the mental sheet, the intellectual sheet, and the spiritual sheet. So we look at it very holistically, and we never just look at only the physical benefits of yoga. Coming to your second question, Bhavpreet, about if not practiced correctly. So let's get into the seed of why do we go into not practicing correctly, and what is our motivation? So when you first identify what is your motivation to do yoga, is it to do 108 Surya Namaskars? Is it to be fat? What is your motivation? So like I said, if your motivation is to really still yourself and go deeply within, and like I just mentioned about the Nike tick mark, it is to dissolve to evolve, then it's very likely that you're going to go wrong. Then when the body is adapting, it adapts sometimes in many ways. Like if you're doing a Tibetan rite, you're meant to spin. So you may feel a bit dizzy. It's not going to stop you, from doing anything. You're supposed to have, like when you're doing back bending, there are days when your back is going to be sore. And, even people like V.K. Iyengar and everybody has experienced inward havoc to make change. Okay, change doesn't happen in normalcy. It always happens in circumstances. So I don't think we should be demotivated by small fluctuations that may happen to the physical body. We should move out of the space of the physical body and keep our mind on the higher benefits that we can achieve, and just go for it. And also, I would like to add to Mr. Singh's question that, how long is the process? So for me, it always feels it's more about surrender. The more you surrender, the higher you just reach where you have to be. And the more you resist, or, you have questions, you want to live your own lifestyle, you don't want to adapt, you don't want to make changes, it's going to make your process longer. So it's about devotion and how much you surrender.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a lovely, lovely answer. And thank you so much. My next question, we'll be kind of concluding with the questions. So I have last 2 questions left. I'll ask one question to Neha. We'll go with you. I just basically wanted to ask you this one question. Is yoga better than the gym? Like, this is something that everybody mentions and says. So if you could just give us an answer to this. So what do you think about this?
I feel, first of all, like how we are comparing, that is yoga better than the gym?
Yes.
The answer is, within this, in yoga, there is no comparison. Okay. We don't compare. It's not about competition. It's not about comparison. It's just you go, you practice, and this is how it is different from the gym. Gym has its own benefits, like someone who's in sports and they want to work on a particular body part, they go to the gym. But yoga is not just about just one, like how Shraddha ma'am has said, that it's about the physical, your body. It's about your breathing. It's about the mental, the mind. So in yoga, it's about taking care of everything. So yes, like in gym, if you are just taking care of our body, and in yoga, we are taking care of our body, mind, and our breathing. So we can do the math, which one is better, but still there is no comparison.
But you will not answer that question. Thank you.
I feel there is no comparison. Thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like one also. After you, ma'am, Shraddha ma'am, and you've explained it, it doesn't sound like one. Okay. So Deepak sir, I'll direct my last question towards you. So basically it's about eating, because you were talking about, so it's about food. So the question is, what is the right amount of time after eating before practicing yoga, and how long should one wait after practicing before they can eat?
It's a nice question.
So before and after eating habits, yes.
It sounds like, you know, I give you medicine, have it after you sleep and before you wake up. So yoga is all about mindfulness, as we discussed. The more empty we are, the better we experience our physical twists, turns, ups and downs, and so that we can work more on nicely on circulation happening in the body, breathing. And if we are already with food in our system, then somehow the energy needs to be there to digest the food more than our desired movements. So when it comes to physical practice, definitely 2 hours, or depends how much you have had in your engine to go ahead, then you can decide accordingly. Secondly, if you are going to practice other aspects of yoga, you can practice 24/7, eat as much as you want. And I think if you are mindful, you will eat food as ahar, not as aha. So there is a difference. So we need to.
Yes, I heard there's like, do you live to eat or do you eat to live? Right? So you should start probably eating to live a little.
I would like to share one experience. One day, one gentleman, really elder to me, I was youngest to teach at least yoga when I was, and he was 55 plus. He said, I have a sweet tooth and I would like to eat one gulab jamun, then one more, then one more, and then one more, and one last. So he 5. So the day question he asked was learning for me also, because not only gulab jamun in our life, there are many temptations, and yoga helps us to be mindful. Many temptation in today's world, even more. So I answered, I don't know how it came. It's all my yoga practice probably, or maybe I have heard and learned and evolved with it. I said, gulab jamun is as tasty if we eat a little, like he said about honey, taste from anywhere, either take 1 liter, 2 liter, doesn't matter. If you are content with just one taste of honey, one drop, like we see in that ad of other drinks, Maaza and all, 1 drop is enough, but we end up drinking big bottles after watching those ads. So similarly with this, if I answer...
sorry to interrupt you, but I just remembered Lay's advertisement, no one can eat just one.
Yes,
please
exactly.
continue, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Similarly, when you get taste of yoga, then you slowly eliminate what is not needed. So I answered him, if you eat little gulab jamun, half of it or 1/4, and you feel nice, then no need to eat 5. And if you eat 5, we all know there is a kind of a economical answer, the commerce background, like when you go progressive with anything, there is diminishing marginal utility. The more you taste, there is no taste also. Then at the end, you hurt yourself and you are in no position where you can choose anything. So better to just understand, limit our habits, and accordingly, the more you will practice, definitely we have Neha ji and other beautiful teachers around to help us more to know how much to eat, when to eat, get into it, not to it. Yes?
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Very nice explanation. And
sorry, I just wanted everyone to smile also a bit. That's why I mentioned about a couple of things. Sorry.
Very true. Very true. No, it's a great example. And yes, we should, begin with moderation and then based on our appetite, take it forward. And with that, we are towards the end of the lovely evening. It's been extremely engaging, extremely informative and inspiring, thanks to the presence of the great celebrities as well as the yoga gurus, one of its first as far as we are concerned here. But before I move forward to conclude, may I invite His Excellency, the Consul General, for his closing remarks. He's been extremely engaged and patiently listening to every word, as I can see. His Excellency, Shahid Alam sir.
Thank you, Feroz. Really, it was very engaging and inspiring session. I mean, I learned a lot from all these celebrities and fitness experts, yoga gurus. Really, I'm so much thankful to all the distinguished guests and the speakers today. And definitely, I think it is inspiring for many of us to, if they have not started the yoga yet, to begin with, and if they are irregular, to become more regular. So this year, the theme is Yoga for Well-being, and I'm sure that we will inculcate the habit of yoga in our life. Thank you so much, India Forum, CatFit, and other distinguished speakers who have taken their time out and to speak, to share their wisdom of yoga benefits with us. Tomorrow we are going to have a yoga demo. Actually, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the audience are very much restricted. But we are trying to do in the backdrop of the iconic fountain of Jeddah. So we are trying to mix aesthetic with yoga demonstrations tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. So all the attendees are again requested to join us tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, His Excellency. Thank you so much. And we definitely look forward to the evening tomorrow. We've learned a lot from our panelists and been inspired. And I think, yes, it's time for those who haven't yet stepped into it to imbibe all the benefits that we have seen, at least for the sake of the health and mind. And as we do, as Deepak ji suggested, that, that one little bite, you will be able to taste a lot of benefits that lies ahead. With that, may I invite the General Secretary, Ahmed Junaid, to deliver the vote of thanks. So Ahmed Junaid, you are on with the concluding last words.
Yeah, please unmute yourself, Ahmed.
Good evening and Assalamu alaikum. His Excellency Mohamed Shahid Alam sir, Deputy General and Director India Forum, Y Sabir, and well-known specialist in their profession and valued India Forum members. It is my pleasure to thank you all for joining us today for this inspiring webinar on a topic, yoga, that is crucially significant to all of us. I would like to express my genuine gratitude to His Excellency Shahid Alam sir and our dynamic Deputy Consul for their immeasurable, unwavering support, as well as their thoughtfulness towards modern issues and healthcare of our community. After the epidemic has spread across the world, it is our bilateral duty to restore the health, immunity, and fitness of our society, following the given advice of trusted experts in their field. This will not only boost the morale, but also give hope for the finer future by removing false anxieties, that could stymie our efforts to combat the virus. We are grateful to CatFit team and the panelists for sharing their domain expertise with us today, attentively and answering all of our queries for this purpose. Thank you once more, Shraddha Sitalwat, Shaina Sitalwat, Deepak Pandey, Neha Thakur, Pranita Pandit, Chaitanya Chowdhury, Smriti Khanna, and Bhavprita Thakur for taking time despite the busy schedule to conduct our event. The information you provided will serve to reinforce the health. Thank you so much, the members of the management committee who worked tirelessly to put this webinar together, led by our dynamic president, Ferozuddin, followed by Abid Hassan, Asimuddin Ansari, Usman Ahmed, SP Singh, Asad Ali, Mohsin Sharif, Dr. Majid, Zahra Fatima, Salma Haider, and Nikhat Miraj. Once again, I would like to convey my gratitude to each and every one of you. Last but not least, Lieutenant Colonel Rakesh Krishnan, founder CatFit, Arpan Dixit, and Mr. Shashank Emmanuel from CatFit for the contribution to the India Forum. May the Almighty keep us all safe and sound, keep yourself safe, and maintain the healthy lifestyle. Thank you and best wishes.
Thank you so much, Ahmed Junaid. Once again, I would like to thank His Excellency, the Consul General of India, the Deputy Consul General, for their very kind presence that has been extremely encouraging for the entire team, for the viewers, and for the higher purpose of this evening, which is inspiring yoga for a healthier lifestyle. So we do look forward in the coming days, as tomorrow to begin with, in being perhaps connected with yoga in part 2, as far as our lead up to the International Yoga Day is concerned. So thank you, good evening, and best wishes ahead.